Hey y'all, welcome back. It is another Oversimplified series. This one came requested via many subscribers. The French Revolution, part uno. Or, how do you say one in French? I know this. Un, deux, trois, un. Part one. Shut up, Brittany.
You are now tuned into Brittreacts.
Why do y'all keep coming back here? This channel is a joke.
Was made possible by NordVPN. Get protected by clicking the link below and get an amazing 75% off. That's only $2.99 per month with an additional month free for a limited time. Also, new French Revolution merch available now in the store, including King Louis and Marie Antoinette character
BBL
pins, complete with detachable heads, just like the real thing. So I said to the Marquis de la Fufayette, "What do you think I am? Some dirty peasant? I've never worked a day in my life." Wow, that Marie Antoinette sure is pretty. Sure is. Wouldn't want to be Prince Louis though. That's going to be a lot of responsibility when he becomes king, especially since France is in financial ruin. Quite. Thank you one and all for attending the royal marriage of my grandson, the future King of France, to the Archduchess of Austria. Now for the very awkward yet historically accurate part of the ceremony, where we all watch them get into bed together.
No. 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 No, that did not, no. 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 My clip is falling out of my head. That's how badly I don't believe that. No. No. No.
Grandson, the future King of France, to the Archduchess of Austria. Now for the very awkward yet historically accurate part of the ceremony, where we all watch him get into bed together.
Look at his emo hair. Are you kidding me? Why?
All right, now that's out of the way. Let's leave the royal couple to it. You better give us an heir, you fat, ill-bred boy. Nighty-night. That's gonna be a lot of responsibility. France is in financial ruin. You fat, ill-bred boy. Quite.
This is intense.
That's going to be a lot of responsibility. France is in financial ruin. You fat, ill-bred boy. That's going to be a lot of responsibility. Oh, great. He's a freaking weirdo.
I'm sorry, that was so much to take in, you guys. That was so much to take in. Oh, somebody's coughing in my house. That was so... Okay, Marie Antoinette, the Duchess of Austria, King Louis' son. I don't know which one he is. He's emo, he's got pimples. His father thinks he's ill-bred. Okay, there was a lot of foreshadowing there, I feel. Okay, let's dive in. I'm about to
France, the most prosperous, cultured, and beautiful nation in the world, as it had been for centuries.
Yay.
An exquisite social culture, with the king and the upper classes throwing
Why is she on the
crazy parties
table?
every night, enjoying high living and fine dining. Who
that a
cares that they
blunt?
were only able to do so off the backs of the hard-working, starving poor? What are they gonna do? Revolt? They're only 80% of the population. No. Life in France is great. What's that, France? You want to go to war with Britain and increase your power? Go for it, little buddy. You do
Little
you.
buddy, you do.
And you lost. Now you're in severe financial debt.
Yep.
We have no money. What do? Should we stop partying? Heck no.
No.
Party harder. That's okay. The peasantry will pick up the slack. They were created by God to do all the work, and you were created to reap all the benefits and party hard. That's just how society works, and we've all just accepted it for centuries.
First estate is clergy, second is nobility, third estate peasantry, middle class, everyone else. Okay, got it. All right.
Why? Why what? Why do the nobility get to be all rich and stuff? Just because they were born into it? And the rest of us schmucks just have to accept that? Hell, why do we even need a king? Who decided that? It all just seems very
Spilling beer
unfair
in
and unequal,
his face.
and I, for one, am starting to question it. Wow, that's very enlightened of you. And so began the Age of Enlightenment. Great philosophical thinkers across France and beyond began to question whether this beautiful nation was really all that beautiful after all. Hey, Prince Louis, bad news. Your grandpop died of smallpox this morning, which means good news, you're now the king. So just to sum up, France is in severe financial debt, and the angry
Prince
populace
Louis
are
was
beginning
the
to question
father.
how
Okay.
necessary you are. But hey, I believe in you, champ.
Go for it.
You got this. Maybe. Oh, no.
Oh.
Prince Louis Capet became King Louis XVI in May 1774. He was a notoriously weak man, and he knew it. He barely had the wisdom to rule a nation.
He was notoriously weak and he knew it? I mean, kudos for self-awareness, but did we want to change that or just gonna stay dumb? This is bizarre.
He was a
to me.
notoriously weak man, and he knew it. He barely had the wisdom to rule a nation, never mind one in crisis, and he was easily manipulated by those around him. One of his first acts was to try to get revenge on the British by financing their American colony's revolution.
Oh, right.
Hey, we're an independent nation now. That was real swell of you, Louis. Couldn't have done it without you. Glad I could help. So hey, about all that money we lent you,
Not
when
getting
can we
that
get that back? Yep, you're a great guy. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Real glad I could help, friend, but about that money, gotta go now, chum. Best of luck to you.
I owe ya.
Oh, no. And now France was in even more debt. France's poor, suffering under the strain of economic ruin, watched as the nobility continued to live
That's
as though
wild.
nothing was wrong. In particular, they grew increasingly disdainful of the Queen, Marie Antoinette, as she continued
Oh, the queen was Marie Antoinette, not the Duchess of Austria. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep, I told y'all the opening of this was a lot for my little brain.
to spend all of France's money on her own luxurious lifestyle and fashion.
Not
While the
the
peasants were
elephant.
breaking their backs in the fields, she was walking around like, hey, my hair is about.
Girl, read the room. Also, that is a terrible hairstyle. Girl, these people are going to eat you for
I'm not
breakfast.
making that up. Her hair really was about. And her lavish spending earned her the nickname
Why?
Madame Deficit. And speaking of the Queen, there was also a long-standing scandal around the fact that the king took a very long time to boink her, and the working classes of Paris began ridiculing the royal couple with lewd pamphlets depicting the Queen as a court thought, and the king as a wuss, unable to
Thought?
fulfill his marital duty. Respect for the monarchy
Thought?
was at an all-time.
They use the term thought back there. Do y'all know what thought stands for? Let me teach you. That hoe over there. You learned something new today. I know you did. I'm happy to teach you something. I learned something. You learned something. You now know what thought stands for. THOT. That hoe over there.
The king is a wuss, unable to fulfill his marital duty. Respect for the monarchy was at an all-time low, as France's finances were spiraling out of control. And the king and his aides really only had one solution to the crisis. Tax the poor. Tax the poor. We could do a sexy
up.
calendar shoot. Tax the poor. And so it was. The poor, who were already
Taxing
struggling to
what?
make ends meet,
What are
found
you
themselves
taxing?
being
They have
taxed from
nothing.
every direction. Hey, I'm the royal tax collector. Looks like you've yet to pay your income tax, head tax. By the way, how many
Head
windows you got in that house of yours?
Window
3?
tax?
Oof. Yep. There's gonna be a tax for that. Hey, your local priest here. Have you paid your church tithe yet? Well, at least this one is going to the good work of God. Sure. God. I think this year, God wants me to buy a new swimming pool. Hey, private tax collector here. Oh, and I brought some goons with me. Just a few quick questions. How much
Private
salt did you
tax
buy this year?
collector?
About 7 kilos, I think? Yep. Okay, there's gonna be a tax for that. Oh, what's that over there? And that's extra salt I held over from last year, so I wouldn't have to buy as much this year. Oh, yeah, there's a tax for that. And what are you doing with all of this salt?
Criminal.
Well, obviously cooking. Mm-hmm.
So cooking
on
tax?
the table. Yep. And
Cooking
preserving
tax.
fish and meat. Oh no. Yep. There's a tax for that. Hey, how old is he? He's 9. And so he's purchased his required amount of salt for this year, right? What? No, he's 9. Uh-oh. Sorry, little Timmy. Looks like I'm gonna have to tax you for that. Yep. Salty. There's gonna be a tax for that. And
He tasted Timmy's tears. France, what the heck?
that's not all. A huge portion of the peasants' harvest had to be given up. And there was also the labor tax, where peasants were required to work a certain number of days for their local lord without pay. Obviously, people weren't too happy with these taxation policies, and the aggressive nature of these private tax farmers sometimes even escalated to violence.
Stop.
In particular, though, the people really hated how inconsistent the taxation rules were across the nation, and also the fact that the first 2 estates often had to pay very little, if any, tax at all. And so, the anger continued to grow. France had a population that was just about ready to explode.
didn't say
What could
it.
push them over the edge? How about a
I
touch
wanted to, though.
of natural disaster? A series of harsh summers and winters left the peasants' harvests in ruin, meaning they had no food or money, and the cost of bread skyrocketed. Of course, the upper classes had massive stocks of grain and wheat, so they were virtually untouched by this
Who
new
is
crisis.
that in this
but
picture
now
holding bread? holding a baguette.
The poor really were starving, and they began to riot. Women took to the streets. Bakeries were raided, and bakers suspected of keeping bread for themselves were sometimes even hanged. Wow, this is really getting out of control. Your Majesty, we need some decisive action. You need to step up and lead us. What will you do? Okay, I've got this. I know. I'll summon the Estates General, and they'll decide what to do. You really are a fat, ill-bred boy. The Estates General was the closest thing France...
Oh, wait. So that was... I'm so confused. So he was the prince. Okay. So I was right. What happened to his emo hair? It like went away. I mean, I know he got older, but it happened so fast. I'm failing this test. I mean, flunking it with a big fat F. Oh my God.
Said to a government apart from the king. It was a purely advisory body and was rarely summoned. In fact, it hadn't been summoned for 175 years prior to this. But with France in a severe crisis, the king felt the time was right to call on the government to help. The Estates General was made up of representatives from the three estates. That is, the clergy, the nobility, and everybody else. Okay, thanks for coming, everyone. The first order of business is regarding the clergy and nobility. You all get brand new Porsches. You get a Porsche, and you get a Porsche, and you get a Porsche. Everybody gets a Porsche. And now into the second order of business. France is completely out of money. Like, it's never been this bad before. Anyone got any ideas? How about we all get Lamborghinis next time? Anyone got any ideas? How about we all get Lamborghinis?
This is so bad. I know this is not what actually happened, but this is symbolic of, like... So no one's government or whatever cares about them. Got it.
Next time. The king decided that in order to make a decision, they had to come up with a voting system. Okay, the clergy. You have a population of 130,000, so you'll get 1 vote. The nobility. You have a population of 350,000. So you'll also get 1 vote. And the third estate, you have a population of 27 million people and make up 98% of the population. Very impressive.
It was 80.
You'll get
no votes.
1 vote. The third estate were obviously pretty unhappy with this system because they kept on finding that this would happen. We propose to raise taxes on the third estate.
Yeah, the 2, it's going to be 2 versus 1 always. Please.
8. All in favor? All opposed? 2-1. Taxes will be raised on the third estate. We propose a motion that says the first 2 estates are a bunch of poo-poo heads. All in favor? All opposed? 2-1. It's official. We are not poo-poo heads. The third estate realized that any attempt at reform would be outvoted by the 2 upper estates, and they thought that was kind of lame. So they decided that since they were 98% of the population, they could go off to form their own government, make their own laws, and take over the running of the country. And so, the National Assembly was born. The third estate was now in control, and there was nothing the king could do to stop. Ha-ha! I've locked you all out of your building. What are you going to do about it? We'll probably go find a different building that isn't locked.
Or just gather outside, because a building does not, like, a building is like, it's just a building. That's like what they say about church. It's like church is in here. Church is in here, okay? We don't need a building. They don't need a building. The uprising is on the way. The revolution has been televised. Clock it.
Oh, no! The National Assembly did find another unlocked building, just down the road, an indoor tennis court. We're on the 20th of June, 1789. They all took the tennis court oath, pledging to continue meeting until the king finally gave in to their demands for more equality and economic reform. This new National Assembly included many of the most educated members of the Third Estate, including 2 young lawyers by the names of Maximilien Robespierre and Georges Danton. Some members of the first 2 estates even joined their cause. Some of these men formed a radical new political party called the Jacobin Club and quickly joined their cause. Some of these men
The graffiti on the wall reads as follows: I love Robespierre, tee-hee-hee, Jacobins rule, Jacobins, I don't know. No girls allowed, the Jacobin Club. It's rad to be radical.
formed a radical new political party called the Jacobin Club and
Jacobin.
quickly became leading figures.
Jacobin.
While many members of the Third
Actually
Estate's
joined
party
what?
called the Jacobin Club and quickly became leading figures. While
Actually joined a bit later. Sorry, the words, they move too fast. Like my brain, help.
many members of the Third Estate simply wanted more equality, a growing number in this Jacobin faction would begin calling for something even crazier, the removal of the king entirely. And this is where fear began to take hold. With such a volatile situation developing, everyone was afraid of something. The king feared his position was under threat, and he called in the military to take position around Paris. The Third Estate heard rumor of the gathering military force, and they feared the king was planning to round them up and arrest them. Maybe he'd even execute them. It also didn't help that the king had just dismissed France's popular finance minister, who had been trying to make reforms himself. It seemed the king was done negotiating. Fear, left unchecked, often boils over into anger, and anger detonates with violence. The angry people of Paris, after centuries of cruel inequality, harsh oppression, even starvation, fearful of having their new movement for reform demolished so soon, decided that it was now or never to take action. Screw reform. They decided
Rise up.
they'd do one better. How
Ride it
about
on.
revolution? The people of Paris, believing the French military was preparing to attack, decided they should arm themselves. The National Assembly announced the creation of a bourgeois militia, the National Guard, and immediately, many troops from the French military defected over to the revolutionary side. In the early hours of July 14th, 1789, a large crowd stormed and raided the Hôtel des Invalides, a military hospital where they were able to secure a large number of rifles.
Was it a hotel or a military hospital? How? Hotel or?
The Hôtel des Invalides, a military hospital where they were able to secure a large number of rifles. The bad news was they weren't able to find any gunpowder for their new weapons. The good news was they knew exactly where to get some. A prison fortress and a symbol of royal tyranny towering over Paris, the Bastille. Mid-morning, the crowd gathered around
heard
the
of the
Bastille
Bastille,
and demanded that the
right?
man in charge, Governor Delaunay, surrender the prison and hand over the gunpowder. Obviously, Governor Delaunay was like, no way.
Hail
So he
to
stalled
the
for
no,
time by
no,
inviting
no.
a few members of the crowd in for negotiations. The crowd, still waiting outside, quickly became impatient, and before long, they stormed the fortress, taking on the French troops inside. Your Majesty, we've received word that the people have surrounded the Bastille. Governor Delaunay will hold them off. No need to worry. Actually, Your Majesty,
He gone.
it appears the crowd is now headed away from the Bastille. You see? What did I tell you? Clearly, Governor Delaunay has defeated them and has them on the run. No need to worry. Your Majesty, isn't that Governor Delaunay's head on a pike? Well, clearly, Governor Delaunay has taken on the form of a bodiless pike-head deity,
Please
and the
stop.
people are so enamored with him, they're
Please stop.
parading him around the
Please
city.
stop.
No
Please
need
stop.
to worry
Please stop.
at
In the
all.
Porsche.
When the
In the
National
Porsche.
Assembly heard about the violence that had taken place, they had two options. Either one,
Shook.
they denounce it and try to carry on the revolution using peaceful means, or two, they say, damn, you stuck his head on a pike? That's pretty hardcore. And we love it.
What'd they say?
Incidentally,
What'd they
they
say?
went with option number two. Some historians believe this reaction paved the way for the utter violence and bloodshed that would become the legacy of the French Revolution. This widespread acceptance of violence during the Revolution is also largely credited to the writings of a certain Jean-Paul Marat.
Now, what I've learned about this channel is that the drawings are quite accurate. He looked like his eyeballs were... Oh, sweet mother of pearl. Okay, I didn't realize it was going to get ugly and super violent. So now I'm like, maybe the revolution shouldn't have been televised.
A man of science with a horrible skin condition that kept him confined to a bathtub. He began writing a radical
What?
newspaper he affectionately named The Friend of the People.
What kind of skin condition keeps you confined to a bathtub?
To a bathtub. He began writing
Life
a
is a
radical
beach.
newspaper he
Yeah.
affectionately named The Friend of the People. Citizens of France, be very afraid. Given the chance, the king and the nobility won't hesitate to massacre us all. The solution is simple. Execute them. Kill every last one of them. Cut off 1,000 heads. And if that's not enough, cut off 1,000 more. Oh, hey, Mr. Squeaky. What are you doing down there? You're so cute. Aw, I love you too, Mr. Squeaky. Mwah. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Kill them all. It became one of the most popular publications in Paris during the Revolution and succeeded in spreading ever-increasing fear and anger among the people. In August, leaders of the National Assembly, with help from a certain Thomas Jefferson, adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. And
Oh, so he just liked declarations of ellipses. Got it.
incredible document that guaranteed liberty
Men's
and equal
rights.
rights to all men. And when I say men,
Lips.
I mean men. Despite its glaring shortcomings in gender equality, the massively influential declaration would go on to inspire the struggle for liberty and equality across the planet for centuries. However, back in France, the vast majority of the people weren't really so concerned with enlightened ideas of equality as much as they were concerned with the fact that they were still starving. Bread
Right.
was still expensive as hell
What's
and
the
hard to come by.
frog?
The people felt that one reason nothing had been done yet about the
I mean, I know the French eat escargot. They eat frog legs, right? Okay, I get it, but like,
still expensive
Just
as
got
hell
off fish
and hard to come by. The people felt that one reason
No
nothing
bread
had been
today,
done yet
baby.
about the crisis was because the king simply couldn't see the problem. He lived in Versailles, a full 20 kilometers southwest of Paris, and as a result, lived in comfort, separated from his dirty, stinking subjects. On October 5th, a crowd of women, 7,000 strong, decided they'd do something unprecedented. They decided they'd remove that separation and confront the king directly. The women marched
go
all the way
get
to the
'em.
king's palace in Versailles. Along the way, the crowd continued to grow into the tens of thousands, and when they arrived, they demanded an audience with the king. What are those things outside the palace? They're poor people, Your Majesty.
Girl, you have a
That's
bird
poor
on your
people?
head.
They say they're hungry. Hungry? Then let them eat cake. Wow. See, this is
she's the one that famously said that, but what does she mean by that? Let them eat cake. Like, what does she mean by
the
that?
exact BS that led to this whole mess in the first place. You're so out of touch. They're writhing around in the filth, breaking their back to barely scrape by, and they come to you demanding just the basic ability to feed themselves, and you think a slice of cake will sort them out? Well, then let them eat Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. Wow. They're not that desperate.
Does she really? Oh! Taco Bell catches strays. Did she really literally mean let them eat cake? Like if they're so hungry, feed them cake? Is that what she meant? Girl, y'all got enough cake to feed these people and let them not be starving? What does this mean?
Members of the crowd actually managed to break into the palace with the intention of killing the queen, who narrowly escaped through a secret passage in her bedroom. The enraged mob killed several members of the royal guard and raised their heads on pikes,
insurrection?
which, if you haven't noticed yet, is
a
something they were
theme.
quite fond of doing. The king had no choice but to come out and talk to the crowd. He agreed to accept his new position, sharing power with the revolutionary government, and to return to Paris with the crowd, removing the separation between king
Not a
and
parade,
subject.
child.
King Louis had a problem with people constantly raiding his palace. But one thing he didn't have a problem with was people raiding his
NordVPN.
computer, because he used NordVPN. If, like me, you don't like hackers stealing your computer, because
Likes being the king, cake and his hair. Dislikes being the king, revolutionaries. My wife's hair. King book, not Facebook.
he used NordVPN. If, like me, you don't like hackers stealing your data, password, bank deets, and girlfriend, then you need to check out NordVPN.
your
With over
girlfriend.
5,000 servers in 60 countries, it allows you to surf the net anonymously and safely with no personal data logging. It's super easy to use. You can take a trip to a server in Japan with just a click of a button. And while you're there, why not check out some sweet Japanese Netflix? Or maybe you want to watch a certain oversimplified video
What's
that for some
Japanese
reason
Netflix
has been
about?
blocked in your country. Well, with NordVPN, you can an oversimplified video that for some reason has been blocked in your country. Well, with NordVPN, you can. NordVPN gives you access to super fast servers and much more. And if you're not happy with it, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get NordVPN now by clicking the link below, nordvpn.com/oversimplified, and get an amazing 75% off. That's only $2.99 per month with an additional month free for a limited time. And you'll also be helping to support my channel. So again, that's nordvpn.com/oversimplified.
He ended it with, look at that shirt with the what is that called? The guillotine? Yeah, is that what it's called? All right, y'all. This one is wicked. It's wicked. I don't even know what else to say. This one is wild. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in part 2. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye.